Salute YouTube. I hope everybody's having a good day. I just got off work, took a shower, and I wanted to make a quick video. I'm not sure how long it'll be, but there's really just a couple things I want to go over. First of all, the Bath Avenue crew. And I think most of you guys probably take interest in that. That's probably what brought most of you to Jimmy's channel, and from Jimmy's channel, some of you came here. So, I just figured it might be something you guys would be interested in. Now, like I said, I always found the Bath Avenue crew intriguing, interesting. I think their story is one of the most interesting stories I've heard. As far as a bunch of kids who were never made and the heights they made it to, and how it all ended for them. Um, it's an incredible story to me, and it's one of the stories I've been the most intrigued in, basically because we still don't know the whole story. And Jimmy's telling us piece by piece, but there's got to be a lot of information out there, a lot of stuff we don't know. Some of the guys in my comments, have mentioned that they knew certain members or they knew people that knew certain members, and sometimes they share a little information, but I want to take a minute to tell you where I got the information I got before Jimmy started his channel. Now, most of you have probably seen Inside the American Mob. If not, it was a National Geographic series. I think all the episodes in it were good. I especially like the one on the New York Philly Mob War. And of course, episode 6, Endgame, is the story of Jimmy Calandra and the Bath Avenue crew. So there's that. And then there's a book called A Mob Story. It's by Michelle McPhee, and it's basically the story of Chris Pacello and the Bath Avenue crew. A lot of it is about the killing of that lady. I won't say that lady's name because, I don't think her family would like that. Even Jimmy never mentioned her name directly. So there's that. That's a good book. And there's a show called Vanity Fair Confidential. I'm not sure if I got this right, but I believe it's episode 4, or I'm sorry, season 4, episode 9. Is an episode called Disco Inferno. It's also about Chris Pacello, but, it goes over the story of the killing of the lady and some other stuff about the guys in the Bath Avenue crew. Mikey Amin, of course, Jimmy, Chris Pacello, Tommy Reynolds. That's all in that episode. Other than that, also not by Michelle McPhee, but she was a big part of it, the one that wrote A Mob Story. There's an episode of the show Mugshots you could find on YouTube, at least you used to be able to. It's an episode called Mob Over Miami. And that has a lot of, that also talks about the same type of things as the other stuff. I mean, obviously I think as far as that crew goes, the biggest story as far as publicity and, the things that have been written and shown on TV and stuff. So, but I just wanted to give you guys that because, these are things that I watched and seen, heard over the years. And before Jimmy started, telling his stories and kind of filling in the blanks for us. So that's it for that. The other thing, I want to talk a little bit about John Gotti. Okay? I get mostly positive comments. And like a lot of you guys advise me to, I'm trying to ignore all the negative ones. Because these fucking guys, they talk shit about me, yet here they are watching my channel and commenting. Like I said, I'll take the comments. They help me all day. They help me with the channel. So I don't really care. Some of them say stupid shit. A lot of people have insults about me. I'm nobody. I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Nobody, yeah. A normal guy, far from it. I wish, but I'm not sure I was ever normal. This is probably the closest I've been to it, and I'm still not sure. um, but I've made it clear I was no gangster, and I'm not trying to be anything. I'm not. One jackass commented, stop using the fake accent and acting like a tough guy. What accent? I don't even think I talk with an accent. I moved out of New York a long time ago. I don't even think I, I I lost my accent way back as far as I'm concerned. If I talk with an accent, I'm not aware of it. I'm not aware of it, but So John Gotti, a lot of the things that the guys in the comments bring up, guys that have shit to talk, a lot of people like to point out this picture and insult me for having it. As if I'm not sure why, but for some reason having a picture of John Gotti at my age or at all apparently somehow makes me some kind of clown. I don't know. This is being used as a reason to insult me. First of all, there's probably 10 million fucking people that have a picture of John Gotti on his wall. It's like having a picture of Al Capone on your wall, or, people have pictures of athletes they look up to. They have, all kinds of shit. Or not even look up to, because I don't necessarily look up to John Gotti. But, people have these pictures, musicians, whatever. This is my DJ room. Okay, that's the first thing I got to explain. All this stuff behind me here, this is DJ equipment. Okay, I had a DJ business in the early 2000s to around 2007, 2008. I've been DJing and battling DJs and doing different things. I was into hip hop DJing. I made a living off of it. I still mess around. It's still a hobby of mine. I left DJing clubs and stuff like that because obviously with my issues with addiction and everything else, and the fact that I'm trying to have a happy home life now and a healthy marriage, it's just not a good choice for me anymore. But I still have my DJ stuff and I still mess around. I make little videos, stuff like that. I do it for my own amusement, basically, okay? But, I have this room decorated a certain way. I also got a big giant picture of Muhammad Ali up here. He was my favorite boxer, okay? Gotti, it has nothing to do with looking up to him or anything else, okay? I've always had a picture of Gotti, first of all, because I've always taken interest in the mob stuff, okay? I've always taken interest in mob history. I've explained this 1,000 times. I won't keep going over it. I was raised on it, blah, blah, blah. I read the books. I watched the movies. If that somehow makes me a clown, I got some news for you. It's called a fucking hobby, okay? Get one and stop commenting dumb shit on my fucking channel if you got a problem with it. But the main reason I have the picture up is because of what John Gotti stood for, okay? Even if you take all the crime away, whatever, I think John Gotti would have been the man that he was and that he died as, okay? John Gotti, now I'll admit, the first video where I talked about Sammy's claim about Gotti, and we'll get back to that, asking Sammy to take the fall, I might have gone a little too far when I said he was the most honorable man in the history of the mafia. I'll concede that, okay? I was excited about what I was trying to say, and I was trying to make a point. Now, most of the dickheads that say shit like, how could you call John Gotti honorable and blah, 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 these are also the people that know nothing, okay? Most of these guys never even heard a mob story until Sammy started telling them, or Michael Francesi, okay? They have no knowledge of it, most of them. If you say something like John Gotti ruined the mob, or that Sammy the Bull was expected by John Gotti to take the fall, I could tell you right off the bat right now, you know nothing about this. You know nothing about him. You know nothing about the history of this thing. I'll tell you that right off the bat. You haven't read, you haven't researched. Go back and read John Gotti's life story. I'm talking about the kind of man he was from a child, from the first encounter he had with Willie Boy Johnson all the way up to his death. There's no better word to use to describe John Gotti as honorable. He was as much of a stand-up guy as you could be. He was a man's man. And I'll be the first to admit, he shouldn't have been talking about murders that were committed. Just, even though he didn't know, of course he didn't know he was being recorded, but even in the event that he was being recorded, just because that was a possibility, I'll admit, shouldn't have been talking about murders that were committed. Probably shouldn't have been talking bad about Sammy. But that's another thing. If you guys think that these guys don't talk badly about each other, Find me two best friends who don't talk badly about each other from time to time, especially in the mob life. There's no honor among thieves. You're surprised that John Gotti might have had some grievances with Sammy the Bull and he might be expressing it to Frank Lacasio or whoever. I mean, this is what happens in life and in that life, I'm sure. Uh, the man never let law enforcement break him. Take, for example, the fact that even though John Gotti was the main target, okay, if John Gotti would have flipped even a little bit, they would have bought him a private fucking island to live on. They would have given him anything. He could have taken down the entire mafia, okay? Um, international and probably, I'm sorry, national and probably international as well, okay? He was, he was who he was. They would have given him anything. He would have never even had to see the inside of a jail. Okay. Um, but even if you take that away and say, okay, he didn't flip then, later on, you don't think he could have changed his mind while he was being chained to a radiator, naked on the floor, while he was sitting in his prison cell in Marion, or uh, while the guards were doing one of 100 other things they might have been doing to torture him and make him pay for humiliating the feds like he did all his adult life. Um, or even if you take all that away, he died in a prison choking on his own blood because he'd rather do that than give the COs, the prison, the feds, the government any satisfaction of asking for help. Okay. Not only didn't he flip then and try to, maybe go home and die at home, he wouldn't even ask for help from from the COs. He wouldn't ask for help while he was at his sickest, while he was dying. There's a story that he wouldn't take narcotics after he had his lower jaw removed and everything else from the cancer. He wouldn't take pain pills. He would just sit there and rub ice on his gums. All his teeth had been yanked out, okay? And his lower jaw removed and everything else. He had cancer in his head and his neck. And rather than even take a pain pill, because he didn't believe in doing drugs, he'd rub ice on his gums and just deal with the pain, okay? That's John Gotti. Uh, and like I said, he died how he died. He never flipped. He never broke. And he wouldn't even let guys in his family take plea agreements, okay? Because he considered that cooperating. Because technically it is. You're not supposed to you're not supposed to admit to anything, especially something that's not supposed to exist to begin with. So, he had a saying. He said, if I rob a church and the steeple is sticking out of my back pocket, I'm going to tell them I didn't do it. I'm going to deny it. That's the kind of guy John Gotti was. Okay, I don't like the fact necessarily, and I think a lot of people don't. The fact that he brought his son into it. You know, listen, that's what a lot of them do. I guess if you're living that life and you see that life as the right way to live, then it doesn't seem like a big deal. It might even seem like the right choice to bring one of your sons into it. There's things you could say about him like there's things you can say about anybody. But one thing you can't say is that he wasn't honorable. Okay, that's a dumb fucking thing to say. There's two talking points from people that don't like John Gotti or people who've listened too much to Sammy or certain other guys, and one of them is always about he shouldn't have been talking about Sammy on the tapes, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, the other one is that he ruined the mafia because he was flamboyant and all this. Now listen, there's a channel called Mob Rats Exposed. It's run by a funny guy, a good guy. He provides a lot of information. He talks about a lot of this. And I believe it was his last video or maybe the one before that, but he touches on this. You could check out his video. He talks about this. How ridiculous it is to say John Gotti ruined the mafia. Yeah, he was flamboyant and all that. You think if he wasn't? You think if he didn't wear $2,000 suits and thumb his nose at the FBI, you think the media wouldn't still be on his ass every time he walked out the door with a camera in his face, following him into the courthouse, videotaping him going in and out of the courthouse, in and out of his house? You think they still wouldn't? The boss of the Gambino family in the 80s, you really think that it was his suits and his flamboyancy that made him a target for the press, the FBI? No, he's not what ruined the mafia. Law enforcement and cooperators ruined the mafia, okay? Uh, a lot of these same guys, what cracks me up is they'll say John Gotti wasn't honorable, but yet they're big fans of Sammy. Since when did it become this way? Since when did it become that we praise the cooperators and look down on the stand-up guys? When did it become this way? And I know you're going to say I'm a hypocrite because I defended Jimmy and all that. And yeah, I'm fine with what Jimmy did. To tell you the truth, I don't care what any of them did anymore. I'm at a point in my life where I don't care about, I've been set up numerous times. Every charge I ever caught was because I got set up by an informant. But let me tell you, at the point I am in my life now, I don't really care what anybody did in their past or what they choose to do now. Okay, if you had your reasons for flipping and you flipped, whether it was just to save your own ass or because you had some, it was your way of getting revenge on someone, a salute. I don't care. More power to you. That's fine. Whatever you had to do. I'm not walking in your shoes. I can't tell you. Let me tell you, I never faced a 50-year sentence. But if I was facing it, there's a good chance I'd tell on everybody. Okay, I'm just being honest with you because that's what I am. I'm honest. I'm brutally honest to the point where it's actually embarrassing to me. And none of you guys can say otherwise. Can say that you wouldn't flip and cooperate if you were facing that kind of time. But still, it's mind-boggling to me that all of a sudden we're looking up to, these guys on the internet. They love John A. Light. They love Michael Franzese. They love Sammy. Don't you understand that these are the guys that brought down the mafia? These are the guys they told. And yeah, Michael Franzese, he cooperated. I don't want to have the argument about who he put in jail or who he didn't put in jail or what his cooperation led to. He still cooperated, okay? He left that life. Sammy said it himself. Michael Franzese left that life. Michael Franzese, however you want to pronounce his name. He left that life because he had no choice, because he cooperated. Okay, not because he was born again or any of this other bullshit he spews. It was because he cooperated and he was done. Okay, there was no going back even if he wanted to. So anyway, as far as me having the picture on the wall, any stand-up guy, any athlete that I'm a fan of, musician, whatever, I might have a picture of them on my wall. I've always had a picture of John Gotti or Muhammad Ali or someone above my turntables or above my DJ equipment, and I have that one there now. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. I don't care. Okay, but to use this argument that John Gotti wasn't honorable, you sound like a fucking moron. Okay, who's honorable if he wasn't? Go read the fucking books, man. Go watch the documentaries. Go find out about his life and tell me he isn't honorable. If you think that, you don't know what honor is. Okay, and the Sammy the Bull thing, listen, I got no problem with Sammy. Sammy was a gangster to his core. He was the real deal. Nobody can deny that. He was also the biggest rat, and still is till this day. But, he was everything he said he was. He did everything he said he did. The dude lived it every day of his life until he couldn't live it anymore. All right? But he did not tell John Gotti. I'm so tired of this fucking argument. Like I said, if you think this, you don't know anything about the man. There's no chance. He told Sammy the Bull, you got to take the fall. First of all, common sense, okay? You're a guy who already knows that anybody that you're friends with, that you did business with, that's in your family, made guys, whatever, can flip at any given moment, okay? Now you're sitting in jail with this guy, and John Gotti is gonna say to him, knowing that Sammy could flip at any time, he's gonna say something to him that would give him no choice but to flip. Think about how fucking dumb that would be, okay? Whatever you think of John Gotti, you think he was so stupid that he would give Sammy no other choice but to flip and rat on him and put him away for life? Any fucking buddy says to a co-defendant, guess what? You're gonna take the fall. That co-defendant is going to turn on him and say, no, I'm fucking not. Watch what I'm going to do to you now. Okay, this is so that's the first reason it's ridiculous. The second reason, like I said, John Gotti didn't want any of his guys cooperating, pleading guilty to anything. Okay, he's not going to put Sammy in that situation. Uh, that wasn't going to happen. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it's so fucking stupid. But if you don't believe me that this isn't true, again, research. Okay, don't listen to what Sammy's saying now. Go back to the 1996 Barbara Walters special. You could find it right here on YouTube. Okay, tell me where in that interview he says that John Gotti told him he's going to have to take the fall. He did say that he felt like because John Gotti had his names all over those tapes, maybe Sammy winds up taking the fall and John Gotti gets off. That was his only fear, is that John Gotti might get away free and he might wind up getting convicted because of the stuff John Gotti said on the tape. Read his book. He never said that. He never said that John Gotti told him he had to take the fall. Now, why not? What changed in 24, 25 years, whatever it is, since he told his story back then? That all of a sudden now the story's different. Listen, it's crazy. It's stupid. And I had one guy or a couple of guys say, you know, it's a fact that there's tapes out there where John Gotti is heard saying that he's going to make Sammy take the fall. Where? No, there's not. I've heard them all, every fucking one of them. No, there's not. There's a tape of John Gotti talking to, I believe it was Frank Lacasio, in the apartment above the Ravenite. And he's talking about all the murders Sammy committed and how he kills people he's in business with and how he's got green eyes and, you know, he's greedy, blah, blah, blah. That's it. There's no tape of John Gotti saying that Sammy the Bull has to take the fall. Come on, guys. What are you doing? I mean, this is so simple. It's called fucking Google, okay? You don't have to have... How many times have I said you don't have to have first-hand experience anymore of this stuff? All you gotta fucking do is read it before you comment. Just fucking look it up, research it, and get some information before you make stupid comments and make a fool out of your fucking self. Because that's all you're doing with shit like this. It's dumb. You sound stupid. And then you tell me I'm a fucking clown. Half of you can't even spell clown. And your fucking comments are so incoherent that I don't know if you're drunk, high, stupid, illiterate. I don't know what the fuck it is. But you know, like I said, keep commenting. And this channel will keep growing and growing more and more. Partly thanks to you, dummy. And that's it. That's all I got to say. I hope you guys check out some of those things I told you about the Bath Avenue crew. You can get some more information. There's some interesting stuff in there on all those, you know, the TV shows and the books and stuff. And that's it. You know, that's pretty much the last time I want to mention the picture or why I have it up. I mean, I don't know what makes that bad, but, you know. I guess when people are looking for a reason to talk shit, they find anything they can. And that's it. I don't think there's anything else for today. Like I said, I just got home a little while ago, took a shower. I want to go spend some time with my wife, eat some dinner, and go to bed, get up early for work tomorrow. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. One other thing. Lee Cole III. I don't want to go over this. Okay, I don't want to mention asshole's name today. You know who I'm talking about. I don't even want to mention his name today. Put it in the title of the video or anything else. It's not really necessary as people think it is anyway. But this Ravenite video, okay? I'm not going to go over this because I'm not going to, you know, take what Lee Cole III said on his show last night and try to, you know, just repeat to you what he said. But he did an excellent episode last night. I believe it was last night, but you'll find it. About the true story behind the Ravenite tape and the tape of asshole leaving Gotti Sr.'s house. Now, I knew a lot of this stuff already. I never, you know, talked about it on these videos, but Lee Cole III, he did an excellent episode last night. You should check his channel out anyway. He's got a good channel, but check that out. For all you guys that want to keep arguing about how the Ravenite tape was so important when it was not. These tapes were already known about in court. There's nothing special about them. So check that out if you get a chance, and hopefully those are less ridiculous comments I'll have to get in my fucking comments from these people who insist that the Ravenite video proves everything. Hopefully, you know, those commenters will start going away. So that's it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you probably tomorrow sometime. Um, and like I said, if you haven't already, like the video and share it. And I hope everything keeps going the way it is, because I believe we're up to 450 subscribers, somewhere around that today. So thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next video. Salute.